big win for Republicans. But as you know, a lot of folks, Democrats, feel that this is only going to help the wealthy. What's your response to Americans who are concerned about that?
Oh, you need to look at what it's going to do for Main Street America. And just think, now we have a tax rate. One of the marginal rates is 0. And that is so exciting, getting those rates down so that it has a real impact on what people are seeing taken out of their paychecks every month.
Deficits. A lot of Republicans are concerned about deficits. Now, Republicans have argued that economic growth is going to boost and pay for itself, boost the economy so that it pays for itself. But what do you say to folks who are concerned about the deficits?
I say you have to look at history on this. When you lower the rates, you're going to get more economic activity. When you get more activity, you get more revenues. The goal now is to turn our attention to cutting back on what the federal government spends. Actually, I think we should take the next several months and focus on getting things off the books. Maybe have a repeal agenda and get down the cost of doing government.
Let me ask you a question about entitlement reform. Lawmakers and the president have said that they want to take this up in the spring. Social Security, Democrats have said we are in the middle of the thick of things. Well, what do you make of the of entitlement reforms, Congresswoman, and folks saying that they want them to not be touched?
Well, Medicaid back to the states is one of the big ones. And as we move forward with looking at the Cassidy-Graham bill, that's one of the provisions that we'll discuss this spring. And our state legislators, our governors, are saying send Medicaid back to the states. That would be an enormous reform. It would have a big impact on what is happening with the cost of delivering health services and having access to health services.
And we've got about a minute left, and I know that you just introduced a bill on net neutrality. And what would this do? Because the president rolled back net neutrality regulations.
That's right.
But a lot of folks have concerns that Silicon Valley is still just doing whatever they want.
And that is a concern, that you have the tech companies that are running the show. What my bill does, it's the Open Internet Preservation Act. And we say no blocking, no throttling. Internet service providers will disclose their terms of service and have a preemption clause in there so that you don't have 50 different regimes in different states approaching the issues of an open internet. But no blocking, no throttling is where there's agreement. And then we have the FCC do the enforcement on this.
Just one final question on this. Does San Francisco, to Silicon Valley, do they get it? I mean, are you confident that they understand the regulatory structure of Washington, D.C. as they're about to face it?
I think that they have an appreciation for the fact that our goal is to preserve access to a free and open internet and to make certain that we're continuing to see innovation in this space and that individuals have a right to their privacy online. It should not be your browser that owns the virtual you. It should be you, the individual, that can direct that data where you would like to see that data go.